chapter are dedicated to the beautiful horned masks of the horses from Pazarik Barrows, mountainous Altai, the mountains of Altai, dated to the 5th century BCE. You see very clearly this is the mask for the horse, but it is intended to depict, to disguise him as the horned deer with branchy horns, very long and beautiful. And this is the reconstruction, how it could look, this animal. What is very interesting here is the depiction of the humped animal on its, don't remember the word, but you can see it here. This is one more example. This was the first, and this is the second example of the horned deer mask of the horse from Pazarik. It is dated a bit later, 5th to 4th centuries BC, Barrow 5 from Pazarik. And these are the photos of this saddle, if I'm not mistaken, if I use the word correctly. And here we see here from Barrow 1, and we see here very clearly the traces of the hump of this animal. So it is a zebu hump. It is zebu hump, and we again have the reconstruction, how it could look. And very clearly we can see not only the horned mask of the deer on the muzzle of the animal, but of the horse, but also the depiction of the horned animal with the hump of the zebu, humped-back bull, in this Altai burial. One more, very exact, very clear. What does it mean? By the way, in the same Altai Pazarik barrows, they have found around 70 depictions of the cock. You know, cock is the endemic of the South Asia, and around 2000 BC it appeared firstly in the culture of Bactria margiana. So we see the exact trace of the spread of this motif of the cock, alongside with the motif of the horned deer, alongside with the motif of the zebu hump, through Bactria margiana to Altai mountains, where we may see the homeland of the Scythian tribes, famous nomadic tribes of Eurasia, Scythian tribes. This was the first chapter, and I will probably stop here, because the second will be the same length at least, and for today I think it's enough. So you see very clearly that we have the depiction, very exact description 2 times of the horned deer as a riding animal of Indra in Rigveda. This is the earliest in Indo-European tradition, dated around, say, 2700 to 2600 BC, as per my dating of Rigveda. And then we have the depictions of the same animals, horned deer, as the riding or drawing animals in more Indo-European traditions, in the Hittite tradition, starting from the end of the 3rd 1000 BC up to the beginning of the 1st 1000 BC. Then Greek tradition, starting from at least the 6th century BC. Then Roman tradition, starting at least from the 2nd century BC and up to the fall of the Roman Empire. And we see the horned deer masks on the horses. Why is it important? The horses are the horses, but the Scythians, they deliberately made those masks to depict those horses as horned deer. They wanted these horned, and it is very important that the animal with this mask it was placed in the central position, like leading the group of other horses without this mask. So it was the leader, the horned deer, half horse, half deer, was the leader of the group of horses. It was a sacred animal for them. It was placed deliberately at the head of the group of horse skeletons. And we see very clearly that not only the motive of the horned deer, but also the motive of the zebu hump and the motive of the cock, all three motives lead us from Altai Mountains to the northwestern South Asia. So these are the exact route by which the Indo-European tribes could move from their original homeland through Bactria-Margian region, where we have again the depictions of the humped back zebus, dating from at least 2300 BC. Bactria-Margiana civilization, and the cock depiction also dated around 2000 BC from the same civilization, and they moved further northeast towards to the Altai Mountains and founded there the famous Scythian nomadic culture, which spread further west up to Hungary, up to Crimea, up to Caucasus, and so on. So these are very interesting and show us that Ashva in Rigveda is not only a horse, but it is also a horned deer. And it corroborates my idea that Ashva should be and must be translated not just as horse, but as any swift creature. Horned deer are very swift. They are very easily can be described as ashvas, as swift creatures. This is the first point in our exploration of how we should translate the term ashva in Rigveda. I hope you liked my presentation. I hope I will continue it afterwards, and I'd like to thank my young daughter Sophia. Sophia, thank you very much for collaborating me, for operating, for acting as the video operator, and I apologize for my possible mistakes in my video presentation, because I'm not a native English speaker. Hope to see you next time. Goodbye.